I am Dr. Jyotika Doshi, working as Associate Professor at GLS University. In the paper of Object-Oriented Concepts and Programming, this module is regarding C++ standard input-output streams. There is hardly any computer application which does not require any input from the user or which does not generate any output from the application. So, we will also try to write all the applications which uses input as well as output. So, in this module, we will talk about performing input and output operations using standard streams. In this module, we will discuss about streams, the hierarchy of the stream classes, and the input-output operations using default formatting as well as unformatted binary input-output. First of all, let us understand what is stream. In C++, stream is like pipeline structure, and it actually is a buffer which can store a series of bytes. When I say pipeline structure, that means whatever goes first will come out first, FIFO. In C++, all the input-output occurs in the streams, and because of that, it provides device-independent I/O. By device-independent I/O, what we mean is whatever device we use for input or output, the high-level language program does not need to know the actual device. So all the operations are common irrespective of the actual device. To use these stream-based operations, we require to include I/O stream file in the program. The communication between I/O devices and the C++ object in high-level language C++ program takes place via operating system. We have the device drivers. So device drivers actually talk to the devices and operating system, and the operating system provides the data to the stream of C class, and that stream is associated with C++ object. Let us see the simplest class hierarchy which we are using in the C++ program. We have the basic iOS class, we have iStream, OStream and IOStream classes which are defined in the library iostream.h, and we also have ifstream, fstream and ofstream classes which are defined in fstream.h file. iStream and ifstream are used for input, whereas OStream and OFstream are used for output. IOStream is multiply inherited from iStream class and OStream class, and fstream is inherited from IOStream class, which provides input as well as output operations. In detail, the hierarchy of IOStream classes actually is with the topmost class as iOS_base class, and this class is particularly data dependent. It is not based on the template. All the descendant classes of iOS_base class are template based classes, and therefore they provide even wide character set. While defining the class, we can use template based classes and specify what type of character we want to use, as seen in these classes. It can be seen that it provides the standard stream classes like iStream, OStream and IOStream. It also provides the file stream classes like ifstream, ofstream and fstream, and additionally it also provides the string classes iString stream, OString stream and so on. The string classes are actually used to have the I/O from the string in memory, just like our C++ strings. The base class iOS_base, as I said, is type dependent, and it describes the storage, all the member functions which are common to I/O streams. It also manages the formatting flags, state of the stream and exceptions due to I/O, which we will see in the later modules. To support Unicode wide characters, all the classes descendant to iOS_base starting from basic_iOS are template based, and when we want to create the class, say iStream, for single character set like ASCII, we can use basic_iStream into angle bracket char iStream. This class is defined like this. Similarly, for wide characters, The class is defined as basic underscore iStream, wchar underscore t as the data type, and WIStream is the actual class. So this is how classes can be instantiated or created, let us say, from basic stream classes. This way it provides Unicode support for Unicode wide characters also. Now there are some predefined streams in C++ for ASCII characters, which now onwards we will say as narrow character stream, and also for wide character or Unicode character streams. CIN, COUT, CERR and CLOG, these are the narrow character streams, whereas WCIN, WCOUT, WCERR and WCLOG, these are the wide character streams. This CIN is associated with standard input device, keyboard. COUT, CR and CLOG, they are associated with standard output devices, standard error device and standard log devices respectively. Usually the standard devices are screened for these things. Now COUT and CLOG, they are providing buffered output. That means whatever goes into the buffer, into the stream is not displayed on the screen at the same time, whereas CRR is using unbuffered output. So immediately the error is displayed on the screen. All these IO streams actually require two processes, code conversion and formatting, for text processing especially. So when text processing is done, first of all, whenever we have the multi-code character sets, it may be required to convert it into ASCII characters, and sometimes it may be required to format the data also for human readable formats. Whereas when we use binary IO, no formatting or no conversion takes place, and so usually binary IOs are faster. Now let us see how these operations can be performed using standard input-output devices. As I said, standard input device is keyboard and output device is screen. Input operations, we will use iStream or WIStream class, and the streams are either CIN or WCIN respectively. We will be here talking about iStream class, so single ASCII character sets at present. The same things can be applied for wide characters also. Text input operations can be performed using either extraction operator or using functions. This extractor operator and functions are already defined in the iStream and WIStream classes. For binary input, we will use the read function. Similarly, for output operations, we will be using COUT or WCOUT as the standard stream objects. Here we will be using COUT, and for text output, we will be using insertion operator, less than or functions, and for binary output we will be using the write function. Let us see the output operations first. Consider the insertion operator, which is the shift less than operator. Now here the data is inserted into the stream associated with the stream object, output stream object, and therefore it is known as insertion operator. Otherwise it is left shift operator. Here the data which is available in the memory in the form of variables, it may be stored in binary. So whenever it is stored in binary, the data needs to be converted first of all into the standard characters. For example, number 65, when it is stored in the memory, it is stored as 01000001 in binary. Now this number, when displayed on the screen, cannot be understood as 01000001, and therefore it will be first of all converted into the characters 6 and character 5. Character 6 in ASCII is hexa 36 and character 5 in ASCII is hexa 35. So thus the first process is the conversion from binary to human readable characters, and once it is converted, it will be stored in the output stream. Thus the data is inserted after transformation into the output stream. Notice the direction of the arrow. Direction of the arrow is towards the destination, and that is our output stream here, and therefore suppose I want to display the value of x, we usually write as cout less than x. So arrow is towards the stream associated with cout object. Object cout is defined in std namespace, and to use this object either we will have to use std : cout or we can specify using namespace std before the program, before main, and then we can simply use cout. This output operation is type safe. Type safe in the sense it does not need to bother about the data type of the item. And this insertion operator is overloaded for all the basic data types in OStream class or WOStream class. So depending upon the data type, let me say int or float, it will convert the results into the stream. For user defined objects, for example, I have the time class and I define the object of class time. Then it requires to overload this particular operator, left shift operator into the corresponding class. So if I overload less than operator in class, say my time, and then I have the object tm of the type of the class my time, then I can write down cout less than tm. Otherwise it is not possible. Insertion operator actually can be associated from left to right, and this overloaded operator returns a reference to the calling object, that is the output stream here, and therefore we can use it in cascaded fashion. For example, cout less than total is equal to less than expression a plus b in the parenthesis. So here first of all from left to right it will consider cout less than total. So whatever that this total is inserted into the output stream, and then it will say less than a plus b. So it is as good as cout now less than a plus b. So now the value of a plus b will also be inserted into the output stream. Let us see the examples of using less than operator. By default, the output uses the default format, that means the output is always left aligned, and the default width is 0, that means whatever number of characters or positions are required, it will be using those many positions. So if I say cout less than string C++ less than string comma quite easy to learn, then the output will be generated as C++ comma quite easy to learn. Please note that no line break will be inserted after execution of the statement. So if I write down cout less than 10 and cout less than 20, the output will not be 10 then line break and 20. The actual output will be 1020 because it will be inserted in the pipe, that is our output streams as it is. If you really want to insert the line break, then use either end-l manipulator or use \n, the new line character. For example, if I say cout less than 10 less than end-l less than 20, then the output generated will be 10 new line and 20. Whenever we are using the expressions, it is better we should use the parenthesis. For example, cout less than 1 plus 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 in the parenthesis. If we do not use the parenthesis, then this statement will be cout less than string 1 plus 2 is equal to less than 1 plus 2. So less than 1 and then plus 2 will generate the syntax error. The precision for the output by default it is 6. So when I say cout less than 123.45678 or 1234567.789 and so on, the output generated will be only of 6 significant digits. The rounding will take place, and if the value is larger, not to accommodate in 6 digits before decimal point, in that case it will convert the output into the E format or scientific format. To flush the content of output stream, we should use cout less than flush. Here flush is the manipulator which we will see in the later modules. Now other than insertion operator, we can also use the member functions like put, which are available in OStream or WOStream classes. Put member function is used to display only one character or to output only one character. As it is seen in the syntax, it returns the stream to the output, that is reference to the O stream, and because it returns the reference to the O stream, this operation can also be used in cascaded fashion. So if we see this example, cout.put character A dot put character dash dot put character Z. We cannot use strings here as the argument, please do remember that. So if I use cout.put double quotes ABC, it will generate an error. Anyways, we can use the character in ASCII also. So we can very well say cout.put 65. The corresponding ASCII character A, capital A, will be displayed. Now after output operations, let us see input operations. For input operations, the shift operator greater than is overloaded in iStream and WiStream classes. This greater than operator, we call it as extraction because really we are extracting the data from input stream. Here we can also use the member functions available in these classes. There are various forms of get, getLine and other functions. We will see here the forms of get and getLine. So let us start with extraction operator. To input using extraction operator, the data is extracted from the input stream which is associated with iStream object cin or WiStream object wcin. Here the data conversion takes place from character to binary because in the stream when the input comes from keyboard, suppose I enter 65 from the keyboard, it goes as character 6 and character 5. But while storing in the memory, we require it to be stored as binary 65, that is 01000001 in binary. So here also the transformation is necessary. Once the data is transformed from input stream, it will be stored in the memory. Here you can notice the direction of the arrow. The direction of the arrow again is towards the destination, but the destination is the variable in the memory, and therefore the statement is written like cin greater than x. Cin is the stream and from stream it goes to the variable x. A cin object is defined in std namespace. So if you want to use cin, either you will have to use using namespace std, or we will have to access it using scope resolution like std : cin. Just like output insertion operator, extraction operator also associates from left to right. It also returns the reference to the stream and therefore it can be used in cascaded fashion. So we can see cin greater than x greater than y. Now whenever end of file is encountered, it does not return the reference to the calling object, but it returns false, 0. So if we are using an end of file is encountered, then the return value will be 0. Please do remember that. Input operation is also type safe. We do not need to bother about the basic data types. For all the basic data types like int, float, character, strings, C-type strings, the operator is overloaded in the input classes, input stream classes. For user-defined objects, if we want to use this operator, then it is required to overload it in the respective class. Characters entered from the keyboard are transmitted to the input stream until we press enter key. Please do remember that leading white spaces are ignored and they are not scanned or extracted. The actual extraction stops whenever we find white space character or whenever we find invalid character in case of numeric values. Do remember that input stream is not flushed after the read operation. So whatever characters are entered into the stream, they remain there in the stream itself until and unless they are extracted. Let us see the example to understand all these concepts. Suppose we have written some code where the two variables a and b are of the type integer, x is of the type double and ch is of the type character. And we have said cin greater than a, greater than x, greater than b, greater than ch. Now at the time of execution, if the user enters characters 1, 2, space 17.3 space 19 T and then enter key from the keyboard, then the extraction will be from the stream. First of all these characters go into the stream as 1, 2 space 17.3 space 19 space T. Now the order in which they were entered, now the extraction will start from those positions. So first of all character 1 will be extracted, scanned, then 2 will be scanned, then the third character is space. As soon as space comes, because my variable is a, which is integer, space is invalid character, and therefore the extraction will stop there for a. The input position will remain there at the at the space character. Now the next is Cin greater than x. White space is the leading character for x and therefore it will be ignored. Now 17.3 are valid for x because x is of the type double. So all these characters are scanned and extracted, and the value 17.3 is stored in the binary in x. After that, white space character again will be considered as leading white space for b. In b it will extract 1 and 9, but thereafter it finds t, which is invalid character, and therefore extraction will stop there, storing the value 19 in b, and then in the character t will be scanned and extracted. Using end of file is Ctrl Z for Windows and Ctrl D for Linux. Suppose we have written this program to enter the number and to find the sum of all the numbers which are entered till we press end of file. So the while loop is while Cin greater than x, sum is equal to sum plus x. Cin greater than x will expect the user to enter the input. Suppose the user provides the input 7, 5, 3, 1, 4 and thereafter presses Ctrl Z. As soon as user presses Ctrl Z, the value of Cin greater than x, the return value, is considered to be false, and therefore the while loop will terminate. And as a result, control will be transferred outside the loop, and we will see the result sum of the numbers is 20 here. Note that extraction operator does not do any validation. That means suppose I want to enter the value for integer, but I enter first character as some ASCII character which is non-integer, let me say alphabet X. In that case it will not do any validation and the extraction will stop there itself, and therefore my input operation will fail. In such cases, after input or output, we can always check whether the input output is successful or not, and for that we can use, here I have given in this example used fail bit. So if I say cin.fail, the fail is the function. If it returns true, that means the input function here has failed. Once the fail bit is set, remember that it will not be reset. So afterwards also, after some operations, if I again check cin.fail, then it will still be true. So it is the programmer's responsibility to clear this flag, and for that the programmer can use cin.clear. Now let us see input using the member functions of input stream classes iStream and WiStream. Here we will see get function with no argument and get function with one argument used for reading only single character, and we will also see get with 3 arguments and get line function with 3 arguments, which will enable us to read array of characters. To read single character, the first function we will see here is get with no argument. If we see the syntax, we do not provide any argument and the return value is integer. How it is different from extraction operator is, when we read using get function, it read white space also. This is how it is different from extraction. And here the return value is integer. So whatever character is entered or scanned from the input stream, it will be stored as either unsigned character in the integer. If it is end of file, then end of file is also stored as integer. So to understand the difference between extraction operator and get function, see this example: cin greater than x and cin greater than ch, where x is integer, ch is character. Suppose user input 9 and enter key. Here 9 will be stored in x, and for ch it will be wait from the user to have the input. Whereas instead of cin greater than h, if we have used cin is equal to ch is equal to cin dot get, and again the input is 9 and enter key, then 9 will be assigned to x, but enter key, which is the white space character, will be assigned into ch. Now let us read single character using get function with single argument. When we use this function, the argument is just single character variable, where the value of the character will be stored, value of the input character will be stored, and the return type is reference to the iStream class. Now here the difference between get with no argument and get with one argument. In get with no argument, there was no argument and the return value was integer. Here the return value is reference to the iStream, and we will have to provide one argument. The scanned value will be stored in the argument. Because it is returning reference to the calling object, we can use it in the cascaded fashion also, and therefore if I have three characters ch1, ch2, ch3 suppose, then I can use cin.get ch1 dot get ch2 dot get ch3. This is due to returning value, which is the reference to the calling object. Now what if we want to scan more than one character? For that we can use get member function or get line member function. Let us see here get member function first of all. Now the problem with extraction operator is, as soon as the white space occurs, the extraction stops or gets terminated. So if we want to read more than one word or lines or paragraphs, the extraction operator will not help us. So in such cases, we should use either get or get line. Now looking to the syntax, the first argument is char star str, that means the C type string. The characters which are scanned or extracted from the stream will be stored as an array of characters in str. The next is count. Count is providing the maximum number of characters to be scanned, and we also provide the third argument as the delimiter. That means if at all the specified delimiter appears in the extraction, then it should stop extraction. That means here the extraction will not stop at white space. The extraction will stop either by reaching the limit of count minus 1, or either by getting the delimiter, or either by having end of 5. Another thing to remember is once the characters are extracted, it is the responsibility of this function to append null character at the end. So it appends all the string with the null character. Do remember that the delimiter is not extracted here. So after reading, the input position will be at the delimiter, if at all the end of the extraction is due to delimiter. See this example. Here we have two strings str1 and str2 C type strings I have defined with 10 and 30 characters respectively, and the functions we have used cin.get str14.get str28. Because I have not specified any delimiter in this third line, the default delimiter new line will be considered. In the next get statement, the sixth line, I have used cin.get str1 8, h. That means here I have used the delimiter, I have specified the delimiter h. That means when h appears it should stop, or it should stop after 8 characters. Now see the results. My input is Mera Bharat Mahan Hai. Now the first get is cin.get str1 4. That means it will scan 3 characters or till new line occurs. In our case, new line has not appeared before 3 characters. and therefore the scanned value is MER, which is stored in STR1. Next is get STR2 8. So here maximum 7 characters will be scanned, and it will see for new line character before 8 characters. Here there is no new line character again before 8 characters. So the next 7 characters starting from A will be scanned, and therefore STR2 will contain A space BHARA. Now my current position, please remember, is at T. Next get is scene.get STR1 8H. So here it will see for either appearance of H or 8 characters. So in this case, before 8 characters, H has appeared, and therefore the extraction will stop at delimiter H. And thus the third get will scan TMA, T space MA, and then H has appeared. That means it has not extracted all the 8 positions. It has extracted only T space MA, 4 characters, due to appearance of delimiter H. And after that, next is get STR2, 10. So up to 10 characters it will scan, or before the delimiter. Here the delimiter appears before 10 characters, and therefore the last extraction is HAN space HAI in STR2. So this is how the extraction is terminated, either at the delimiter or reading count number of characters. Let us see reading the data using getLine. Here also, if you see the syntax is same. Instead of get, it is function getLine. That's all. The return value is again reference to the iStream. That means it can be used in cascaded fashion, and the 3 parameters are also same as get. Then how it is different from get with 3 parameters? The only difference is, in case of get, the delimiter is not extracted, whereas here the delimiter is extracted. Of course, it is not stored in the string, but the input position will be after the delimiter, not at a delimiter in case of getLine. Another thing is, if the delimiter is not found before count number of characters or before end of file, then it will set the fail flag, or in case of end of file, it will set end of file flag. That means the input will not be considered as successful operation. Let us see this example. We have the string C-type string again, which is of 30 characters, and we want to say cin, and here I have said in the third line cin.getLine str1 25. Because I have not specified the delimiter, by default it is the null character, new line character, and the maximum number of characters which I should read is 25. The input is thank space God, which is almost of 8 characters, and after that it will be the new line character. That means the delimiter has appeared before 25 characters and my operation is successful. So in str1 I will get thank space God. If I would have used extractor operator greater than, in that case str1 will have only thank, and as soon as the white space character occurs, the extraction will stop. Now let us see about unformatted read, where the data conversion will not take place. That means whatever is there in the stream will go in the buffer as it is. This is useful for binary input, and here it has 2 arguments, C-type string and the count. That means it will read the bytes until the count limit is reached or until EOF is reached, no terminating character. But do remember here that the function will not append null character, the string terminating character, to the extracted characters. And if the string ends before reading count number of bytes, then it will set the fail flag. Let us see this example. Here we are trying to read in str1 6 number of characters using cin.read str1 6, and we are trying to see whether this input is successful or it has failed. Now my input is thank God. Because I said 6, it will read thank, 5 characters thank, then space, and after that you can see all garbage characters. Because my string is of 10, so remaining characters we do not know. The function dot read will not terminate the string using null character, and therefore we will not get thank space null character. If the programmer want to have null character after thank space, then the programmer will have to know how many characters were read in the last read operation. To do so, we can use the function gcount. So in the example, one can see cin.read str1. Here I have said 4 characters to read, and after that I said str1 cin.gcount. So here gcount will be 4 characters if 4 characters are read successfully, and at that position I want to insert null character on my own. Similarly, for unformatted output, we can use the write function. The write function returns the stream to ostream class or wostream class. It will write count number of bytes from the string into the output stream. So row bytes. Again, no conversion takes place. It will not terminate at new line character. It will write whatever is there in the string will be written as it is in the string. Remember, we should have enough size for writing the characters. See this example. cout.write str1 20, and here the str1 string contains trying :n write function \n. So when I say cout.write 20, the first 20 characters will be inserted into output string. So it will insert trying :n write and func till 20 characters. After that, tion \n will be written or will be skipped here in this case, because we are saying only to write 20 characters. The next is cout.write hello 7. So it will put this hello into the output stream. It will add hello into the output stream. But I have said 7 characters, so here it will put blank blank. It will add blank blank, but this behavior is, please understand, really speaking, maybe anything. Not necessarily it will always put blank blank. And then we say, how are you? 20 characters to be written, and then I am fine, 10 characters to be written, right? So you can see the output. Whatever is there in the buffer is written exactly in the same way, and therefore in the display it will be showing trying : then \n. So the next output is shown in the next line. It say write func hello, because we have no new line, it will not insert new line on its own, space, then how, then new line again. So ru is in the next line. Thereafter I have not specified new line, so I am fine is written on the same line. It is displayed on the same line. So this is about input output operations using standard string. So let me summarize what we have learned today in this module. We have learnt input and output operations using standard streams cin and cout, which are associated with default devices, keyboard and screen. For input operations, we have seen the extraction operator greater than, and we have also seen the functions get and getLine. The extraction operator stops at whitespace character. Whitespace character may be new line character, maybe tab, maybe blank space, and so on and so forth. Get function we have used for reading single character with and without argument. So we can use get without argument, get with argument. After that we have used get with 3 arguments and getLine with 3 arguments for reading array of characters. When I say array of characters, more than 1 characters are read, but how it differs from extraction is, here Scanning or extraction will not stop at white space, and therefore get and getLine with 3 arguments we can use to extract multiple words or lines or paragraphs. The difference between get and getLine with 3 arguments is get will not extract the delimiter and the position will be there itself, whereas getLine will extract the delimiter but will not store in the array. Other than that, we have used binary read function to read the binary data. Here, when I say binary read, the bytes are read and extracted in the memory as it is. They do not perform any translation, any conversion or any formatting. Other than that, we have seen output operations using insertion operator, using put function. Insertion operator will not insert a new line character on its own, please do remember that, but whatever there is there in the buffer in the memory will be displayed on the screen after conversion. Put function will put only single character on the screen. Now, other than put function, there are many other functions for writing, but we are not discussing those here in this module. Other than text output, we have also seen binary output by using write function. When we say write function, whatever is there in the memory buffer will be written as it is in the stream. So, new line will go as new line in the stream, white space will go as white space in the screen. No terminating characters will be inserted in the stream. Thank you. I hope all of you will now practice this and be the master of using input and output using standard streams.